November.
Oh, so it didn't change. I thought it changed. My bad.
No, the other subjects changed because the timetable was shuffled, but fortunately Mac stayed the same. So your other subjects is probably shuffled around now. I'm not sure. But we'll get there with the exam prep and everything it will do. Okay, so let's look at the production budget. And we're on page 333. Okay, so they want us in this example, it's a long reading process. So they want us to do the sales budget and then the production budget, the direct material budget, and the direct labor budget. Okay, so we'll just do those three for now, or four. Let me just share my desktop. Okay. Can I ask everybody to please input the student number and then in the link that I provided earlier. Okay, let's just put the page number here. Page 333. Who's this? The student number must go on the form. Let's just see what's happening here. The student number today, sorry man, this is really confusing. The student number must go on the form today, the one that I inserted. The link to attendance register, if you don't mind. Okay, let's look at page 333 and then we concentrate first on the sales budget. Okay, so sales budget is basically your units that you want to sell multiplied by your rand value, your anticipated rand value. Okay, so let's look at this example and let's prepare the sales budget first. Example 13.2 is a comprehensive example that will illustrate the preparation of the operational budget of a manufacturing entity. We present the budget in the quarterly format where appropriate. So watch out when they give you quarterly stuff, because when they start asking you for rent and electricity, but stuff yearly, they're going to give you on a yearly basis, and you have to, especially your fixed costs, and you have to apportion it. So XYZ Ceramics buys dry powdered clay that is mixed with water in an underground tank to create a slip liquid clay solution. The slip is then poured into casting molds to manufacture the finished goods that are sold. The cost of the labor to mix the powdered clay with water is considered fixed overhead. So remember that. Each final product requires the equivalent of 500 grams of powdered clay. 500 grams is half a kilo. The cost of the clay is expected to be 12 rand per kilogram. Okay? So we're working in kilograms, but the measurement is grams. Okay, but a price of 1 rand per kilogram but a price increase of 1 rand per kilogram is expected with effect 1 July. Last week I taught you about how to work out the cost. It takes one work an average of 15 minutes. Now remember, 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour to prepare one casting mold and to pour the slip into it. Once set, it takes one worker further 15 minutes to release the product from the mold. Once released from the mold, the products are left to dry naturally. Once dry, the products are put through the finishing process to smooth away the mold line. It takes one worker 10 minutes to finish one unit. The products are then fired in a kiln or kiln, whatever the word is, to convert the clay into stoneware. Once the products have cooled down, artists apply the glazing and finishing touches to each unit. It takes artists 45 minutes per unit to complete this task. The units are then placed into the kiln for a second firing. After the units have cooled down from the second firing, they are labeled, wrapped, and packed into individual boxes. This process takes 1 hour and 20 minutes per unit to complete. The labor recovery rate for the artist is 150 per hour. Our line is nice tonight, eh? For all other workers, it is 80 Rand per hour. Anticipated sales are 4,000 units, okay? So that is something we're going to take out of for our sales budget, okay? At 320 Rand per unit, okay? 5,000 at 355.5 units, blah, 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 for each of the 4 quarters. Variable production overheads are budgeted on the basis of direct labor hours as follows, blah, blah, blah. And then they give us the FIFO method is used, closing inventory, that will go to our production budget, and all the kilogram stuff will go to our production budget. So they are asking us firstly to do our sales budget. So sales budget, we know that you're going to have units versus Rand value. Okay. So they say projected sales for quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So the unit is 4,000, 5,000, 5,500, and 8,000. Okay. Our Rand value was 320. No. Okay, 350. 350 again, and 380. Okay, so now we're gonna get our total value. Okay. Okay, so 4,000 times 320 is 1,280,000. Okay, 5,000 times 350 is 1,000,000. 1,750,000. 5,500 times 350 is 1,925,000. And 8,000 times 350 is 3,040,000. Just make sure that, okay, now you're going to write a multiple choice. That you can put the Rand value like that so that you know it's a Rand. Like that. Okay, but you're writing multiple choice. So basically, that is the value of our sales budget. So now we're going to have to calculate our production budget. Any questions of the sales budget? Okay, no questions. Just signal. Okay, so we know that our production budget, we're going to need to know how many units we need to manufacture. So they gave us manufacture all the units that you want to use. So in this case, it's these amounts here because they gave it to us. Okay. Can people see the screen? Let me just make it bigger. Okay, so now we know how many units to manufacture. Now you have to add your closing inventory. Now, where do we find our closing inventory? Where did they give that us? Okay, our closing inventory. If they give us closing inventory of finished goods is to be maintained at 10% of the next year's projected sales. Okay, so 10% of the 5,000 Rand. You're going to have to read what they say. So 5,000 times 10% is the 500. 5,500 is the 550. 8,000 is the 800. Now the question comes here. Remember, with the cash budget, we work always prior, right? And with the production budget, we're going to work after the next quarter. So we're going to use quarter one. So somewhere they're going to have to tell us, right? The projected sales for the first quarter of 2018 is 7,000. Does everybody understand this concept that we just did now? Your closing inventory. Okay, everybody understands. So our total units required will now be 4,500, 5,550, 6,300, and 8,700. Right. So now we have to deduct our opening inventory. Why do we deduct our opening inventory and not add our opening inventory?
Because that's what's going to go out in the first quarter when we sell again. We was working under the perpetual, under the FIFO method.
No, that's not the reason why we are deducting our opening inventory.
Huh?
Anybody else? The reason why we're deducting our opening inventory is because we busy with the production budget. How much do we want to produce? And we're deducting that amount because we've already got it in the store. We've already produced it, so we don't need to produce those. Okay. So they say there was no opening inventory at the beginning of the year. Other opening inventories on the 1st of January was as follows: 1,000 units of finished goods. Okay, so let's deduct the 1,000 units. Okay, now where is the indication of the next? Let me just see. Does anybody see where they get what they do, the opening, how you calculate the opening inventory for the next month? There was no work in process. Closing inventory. Okay, closing inventory of the finished goods is to be maintained at 10% of the next quarter's sales budget. So you take the 500 of that budget, right, of your closing inventory, and you minus it, right? Then you're going to take the 550 there, okay, and then you're going to take the 800. Okay, so now you deduct it, and you'll find that that is 3,500, 5,050, 5,750, and 7,900. So that is how many units we need to manufacture. Okay. Before we move on to the next budget, let's just do another example in your study guide, in your tutorial letter 102. I think question 2.1, question 2. Let's look at question 2 and we're going to do it together now.
Sorry, is it the page number?
On page 53. Okay, so in order, if you look at this example, for those, can somebody just type in on the chat what page we are on now? Because the people that came late, they're going to ask again. So let's look at question 2. And this company sells one product, a single product, and they're giving us all the information there. So we want to calculate our production budget, but in order to do our production budget, we're first going to have to do our sales budget. So if you notice in this example, they didn't give us the value of the sales. They didn't give us the units. They gave us the units here. If you look at this example, they gave us the value again. Okay. So they gave me this value here, and I need to solve for this value, yes. And this was the given value. Okay. So let's just do that. And it was for September, October, November, and December. Okay. So the budget selling price is 250. Right. So let's leave it at 250 for, yes. Any questions? Someone ask something. Okay, 2,500,000 and then 1,800,000 and 1 million. Can you see they never give you the same thing? It's not like accounting, it is like a formula. Okay, so now we're going to divide that by that. So 2,000 divided by 250 is what? 8,000. Anybody want to calculate quickly? 2.5.
I accept the time to send the 20, but then it starts later.
Let me just take out my calculator because I can't hear that. Oh, I can't hear anything. Yes, it's a speaking voice. 2 million divided by 250 is 8,000. Right? 2.5. Where's my calculator now? 2.5 million divided by 250 is 10,000. And 1.8 million divided by 250 is 7,200 units. And 4,000. Can you people hear me clearly?
How does it?
Kids, do you hear me clearly? Was there a lag on the line?
I can hear you, Aziza.
Ethan, oh, you hear me clearly. Okay. Okay, so does everybody understand now what we... Okay, thanks, Ethan. So you can understand now what we try to figure out now here. Now we try to get this value here, the 8,000, the 10,000, and the 7,200 to be able to do my production budget. But for which months do they want the production budget? For September and October. So for September, my units to manufacture was 8,000. And oh yes, I'm not doing this. You need to do it with me. So now you need to give me the closing inventory. Give me the closing inventory of the production budget. Anybody? Yukisa, you want to go first?
Just give me a second quickly, please. I'll do it. Right
Okay.
now.
Did you get that? It's
For September is 2,400.
How did you get 2,400?
You times 30% of the month's budgeted sales.
a
Okay.
So not
The
just
desired month's closing inventory of finished goods is 30% of the month's budgeted sales. So she took the 8,000
like I'm gonna teach you because like
times the 0.30%. Let me just plug my LAN cable in here. I don't know. Okay, maybe this is going to be better. Okay, so she got the 2,004.
Hello?
I think she disconnected.
Disconnected.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, sorry, man. Okay, I had a bit of a problem there. Can you all hear me now? Hello?
Yes, it's okay.
No, I'm so unlucky with this class. I always get this bad line with this class. Okay, so the lady said we're going to take the 2,400 because of 30%, and the 10,000 of 2,400 would be the 3,000. Okay, the 30%. So that's how we got that amount. So now we're going to add our closing inventory. So now we get 10,400.
Just share the screen again,
Right?
please.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so now we're going to get the 10,400, and here we're going to get the 10,000 or the 13,000. Okay. I should have actually moved that down. So that's our total units that we require. Now, We want to find out our opening inventory. So what is our opening inventory? Okay, we know that 2,400 Rand will be that opening inventory because your closing inventory is your opening inventory of the previous month. Okay. So what would this be? Our closing inventory there.
I think that will be 600 for September, Aziza.
Do you people think she's right or is she wrong? I don't think so. Where did you get your 600?
No, I just checked now. The closing inventory of finished goods in August was 2,000 units.
You know what this one tells you?
30% of the 2,000 is 600.
No, you're confusing the issue here.
Using it now.
The 30% now is the desired closing inventory of finished goods is 30%. Now the closing inventory of finished goods for August. Remember that September became October became September's closing inventory, right? So August was 2,000 like they gave us.
Okay, so then it's 2,000 amount is given.
It's 2,000 because can you just mute your mics, please? We just mute it. People just keep your mics muted and then just chat when you or unmuted when you need to. Okay, so remember that the 2,400, right, of September closing inventory is the opening inventory of October. But the August 2000 closing inventory, okay, of August becomes the opening inventory. So we have to deduct this because we want to know how many units. Okay, so the units to be manufactured is 8,400. 13 minus 2.4 is 10,800 or 600. 8,600. So then now we know how many units we are going to manufacture so that we can know how much material we need to purchase and how much labor we're going to use. So only once you have how much your production budget can you do your purchasing budget. Does this make sense? Does everybody understand this production budget? Any questions on the production budget?
So,
Yes,
Aziza,
please. Can you go back to that less opening inventory, that 2,000 Rand? I'm a bit confused there. That 2,000 and the 2,400.
Okay, the question they say on point number 5, the closing inventory of finished goods for August is 2,000. So if the closing inventory of August, if that was August here, we would have had the closing inventory there. But then it becomes your opening inventory for the next month. Remember your closing inventory becomes your opening inventory for the next month.
Yes.
So likewise here, my closing inventory, the 2,400 became my opening inventory for what month is this? October. You understand?
Oh, okay.
So,
I see.
so what will the closing inventory, the opening inventory be for November?
2,400.
Don't lie. Thou shalt not lie.
It's 3,000.
3,000. There's it. Okay. What will my closing inventory be here for that month? For November and December, what will my closing inventory be?
For November, it will be 2,160 rand.
Yes.
And for December, it will be 1,200 rand.
Does everybody see the logic in this? What would my units to be manufactured be here? 7,200 and 4,000. Okay. 9,360 and 5,260 when we do all the months. So what will this one be here?
No, not 5,000.
For
which
my
one?
my opening inventory for the last month, for December.
For December. So our closing inventory in November was 3,000, am I correct?
And then it's AM.
2,160.
No, you're not correct.
1,000.
Yes, 2,160. And for January, what will it be for January? You, Kisa, what will it be for January?
For January, it will be 1,200.
And 60, yeah, whatever answer we got here. So you get the nick of this now.
Let's just go back quickly. I think go back for me
to where?
when we got the total required, okay, the total units required.
Mm-hmm.
So we took 10% from that 7,000, 30% from that 7,200, which was 21, which was 216. Am I correct? You said 30%, am I correct? Now, why is it, why you want to take 30%?
Because the question said the desired monthly closing inventory on finished goods is 30% of the month's budgeted sales.
I understand that, but where did you get the 1,260?
From you.
No, it was 1,200.
Okay, sorry, then it's a typo. Sorry.
Yes, that is why I was double checking now with you. So that's gonna change now to 5,200.
Okay.
Okay, if I'm correct there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
Yes.
Remember, they told us that August was our finished goods of 2,000 units.
Mm-hmm.
And then your opening for September will be your closing for September. For October will be your closing for September.
Your closing of August that they gave us will be your opening of September, yeah.
Yes, and your closing for September will be your opening for October.
Your closing for September. Your closing for September will be October, yes.
It will be October, and then your October will be your November.
Yes.
And then your
Can you
November.
see your December?
I see the sequence.
Can you see what I meant when I said with the cash budget, you worked this way? Now with the production budget, you're going to work this way.
I see the sequence. Yes, I see.
Okay. Okay.
Why did you minus it?
Let's go. Because you have to close your. That's the question that I asked you earlier in the class. Why are we closing? Why are we deducting our closing inventory? Because you only want to know what you need to manufacture. This is already on hand. So why do we need to calculate that?
Okay, now
that's why we're deducting it. Now it's making sense.
Now it's coming along. Yes, thank you, Aziza.
Pleasure. Let's go back to our book. And let's do our we did our production budget. Now let's do our direct material budget. So now it becomes quite easier. Once you have this production budget, then it's quite simple. Direct material budget. Okay, so my direct material budget, and remember, this is like stuff that you must get the sequence right. So multiple choice will probably help you here. Because if you were in the exam and you got this somewhere wrong here, you wouldn't be able to work out your direct material budget either. Because we're taking this figures here and we're going to use it there now. Because I want to know how much material am I going to use based on how many I'm going to manufacture, how many units I will manufacture. So let's get this right. So now what material are we going to use now? So they say each final product requires the equivalent of 500 grams of powdered clay, which is half a kilo. Right? So if it says 500 grams, what are we going to call it here? Clay per 500 grams. So you're going to multiply it by 0.5. Okay, 0.5. 0.5. Okay, remember, this is units here. It's not rand. We're working with units. At the end, we're going to put it to a rand value. So let's put 3,500 times 0.5. It's 715. Okay, so it's 1750. 5050 times 0.5 is 2525. And then 5750 units multiplied by half a kilo of clay. Okay, so it's 2875 kilos of clay, and it's 3950. So this is my total clay required to make this product. Okay, let's see what else material they gave. Okay, then we have to add our closing inventory. Looks like clay is the only product in this thing. Okay, so help me out here. What is my closing inventory? You're going to give it now to me. They said that the closing inventory of finished goods is to be maintained at 10% of the next quarter's projected sales. And projected sales for the first quarter is 7,000 units. Right though. Let's go. And you tell me why you got that answer as well. Anybody want to go?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I got the closing inventory for Q1 to be 884.
No, it's wrong.
Not right.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Our closing inventory?
700.
For Q1. Each product requires 500 grams of powdered clay. The cost of the clay is 12 rand per kilogram. Right? The management is jump there. The FIFO method is used. The inventory of finished goods is to be maintained at 10% of the next quarter's projected sales. Just give me a second quickly. Okay, so Nolo says that we times 500 by 0.5. Okay, then you get 250. Then what do you get here, Nolo? If you say if you want to calculate your closing inventory for the next month, for the next quarter. Okay, so the next quarter will be the 5,500. Nobody wants to give me an answer. So 5,500, right? Times by 10%, right? Equals 550 times your 0.5, which they'll then give me, with my equal sign, 275. Am I right? Now you do the next one for me. Put your answers in the chat for the next 2 months. What do you get and how did you get it as well? Bilkies, no, you're not right. You mean, what is November quarter 3? Is my book different to yours? Because I don't know why you people are saying November. Because I've got quarter 1, quarter 2, and quarter 3. Or is it on the... Okay, so it's 275, 400, and 350. So your Kisa and them were right. You're going to take the next month's sales, projected sales, times 10%, times 0.5 for the clay. Okay. So now we have our total inventory. Okay, so you got 2,000, 2,800, 3,275, and 4,300. Mic is unmuted. Okay, so now we have the total clay requirements. Righty. Now let's calculate our opening inventory. And put your answer in the chat. Your opening inventory. I'll give you 2 minutes to calculate that.
Our opening inventory for quarter 1, it's 90. It's given.
Sorry, I was on mute now. And quarter 2, what did you put by quarter 2?
To be the closing inventory for quarter 1, which will be the 250.
Okay, and quarter 3?
Quarter 3 will then be the closing inventory of quarter 2, which is 275.
And then quarter 4?
Quarter
400.
400.
400. Okay, so we'll have to minus this. Okay, so let's minus it. Just put a minus in front. Okay, so our total now is going to be 1910. It's going to be 2550, and then 3275 minus that is 3000, and then 4300 will be 3900. Okay, so that is now my total kilograms required. Don't get confused. So we've got kilograms required now. Now we got the total amount of material that we need. Now we calculate it at the cost. And how much was the cost? What was the cost? What must I put in here for the cost?
The cost was 12 rand. It's increased by 1 rand per.
So where must I increase a quarter?
First, it's gonna be quarter one is gonna be 12 rand.
Quarter two?
It's gonna remain 12 rand.
Okay, quarter three?
Then we push it up by a rand. What did they say?
Okay, 13 rand. And then 13 rand. Okay, what did they say? But a price increase per kilogram is effective from 1 July. Okay, so that is the 13 rand. Price, let's put your price per unit. $30,600 and then 50,700. And Bob's your uncle. So that is my cost of my direct labor material, sorry. It's easy as that. Is this one easier than your production, than your cash budget?
Yeah,
Okay, so let's go. This one a bit easier. So now let's go back to our tutorial 102 and let's go and calculate our material budget from there. So for September and October, let's calculate our material budget. So we know that we needed 8,400 units that must be manufactured. So let's just take our 8,400, copy it over. Okay. So now, what did they say here in the question? Direct material is 5 kilograms at 16 rand per kilo. Right. So tell me now, what do I do now? Waiting. Robin, what is the total material required?
Sorry, Aziza, I'm lost a bit. I had to go see somebody outside, so I just got back.
Okay, you can just fall in. Yukisa, what do you say?
Sorry I was on mute. We are doing the material budget. Am I correct? The direct material budget.
Yes.
Okay. So they're telling us that each kilo, it's at 16 rand. It's 5 kilos is at 16 rand per kilo. Okay, but now we need to know. We already know the what is this thing? So we already did our production project, okay? And our project, when we did it, we know that the unit to be manufactured for September was 8,400. And for October is 10,600. Okay. Now we need to know. They're telling us that the 5 kilos at 16 rand per kilo. Am I right? Can I write it down as well? Because now I'm talking, I'm not writing it.
Yes.
So, okay, we said the units in September was 8,400, and then we said it was 10,600 in October. Okay. Now this is where your raw material. Okay, there's a.
Yes, my friend. Where did it now all go wrong, my friend?
So 5 times 16 is most the 5 kilos at 16 rand. That's gonna give us a value of per. It's gonna be 80 rand. Okay, and then we are going to say 80. So is it true if I say 16 rand times 8,400?
Okay, what do you want to? You must tell me what to write here. Then the rest can comment and why you're wrong or right. Tell me what to write.
But you never wrote the 8,400 and the 10,600. It's here.
It's here, yes, it's there.
Okay,
It's a copy and paste exercise.
Okay, but now.
Okay, you spoke about the 80 rand. You want to put the 80 rand there.
And then I'm gonna get high figures if I put the 80 rand there.
But why is the 80 rand wrong? Why do you think the 80 rand is wrong?
The 80 rand is not wrong.
I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong.
Yeah, you see, that's where.
You know why it's wrong?
Okay.
You know why it's wrong? Because you're working with rand value. We're working all time with units, kilos, material. We want to calculate how much material is needed. And we're not talking about, because 80 rand is 16 rand times 5.
Okay.
So I think you should put the 5 kilos there. Because we just want to work with kilos.
Okay.
Oh, I see. So to get the unit price, you have to take that 80 divided by the 16 kilos to get your, the 16 rand to get your 5 kilos. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Can you repeat that again?
Miss Aziza said that the 80 rand is the rand value. So to get how much kilos you had to times it by, you say the 80 rand divided by the 16 rand per kilo to get your 5. I'm not sure if I explained that right, but
yeah.
yeah.
It is.
100%, 100%.
Okay, so as Buki say, it's so the kilo, when we are working out the kilo. 5 kilos. Yes, I agree with you, which is 4,200, 42,000, and 53,000. Now you want us to know.
Now I want to know what is the closing inventory.
Now you want to know the closing inventory.
Give me your closing.
Okay.
Anybody else want to answer my closing inventory?
Okay, so
18,550.
Okay. And how did you get that?
53,000 times 35%.
Okay. Now give me October.
October 11,108.
Okay. How did you calculate that?
We take that 1,800 times 35%.
No, but how do you know it's 31,800? How did you get to 31,800?
because you work it out already. We work it out on that.
Yes. You must take this. No, how could you have worked it out so quick? You must take the 7,200. You must do this production budget now. Right? 7,200. You have to add your closing inventory. Right? So my closing inventory is 7,200 times 30%, which is 2,160.
Yes.
Okay. And then
Yes.
you less your closing inventory of 3,000. Then you get 6,390. Right? Times your 5 kilos. Your 5 kilos. Right? And it's going to give you 31,800. 31,800 times your 35% is your 11,130. You with me, Yukisa?
I'm with you, but I didn't work it out the same way you did.
Did you get 11,130?
Yeah, that 31,800.
How did you get your 31,800?
Okay, this is how I did it. So okay. You mentioned to us previously in the topic when we were doing that. Remember, we already know by my production budget the unit that needs to be manufactured. Am I correct?
Yes, which was the 3,000 here. Right? Let me just take all this, delete all this here.
Where did you get the 3,000?
We calculated it, here's it. There's my
Yes,
3,000.
Yes, that was from your opening inventory.
Yes.
Okay, but remember, you want us now to...
I want to calculate the closing inventory.
Closing inventory. So why will you take the 3,000? Instead, I did it like this. I took 6,360 and 5 kilos.
How did you get 6,360?
Because I'm going to go back to your example when you said the production budget, it's preparing you for the direct material budget, okay? So how did I get the 6,360 is when I did my production budget in November. When I completed it, you said your closing inventory.
Sorry, Yokisa, you are right. Sorry, I'm taking that wrong amount. It's 6,360 there.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry,
yes,
I didn't calculate it. Sorry, the 9,360 minus 3,000 is the 6,360.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
My
ma'am.
apologies.
Okay, and then
I'm also human. I also
then
make mistakes.
I know it's fine, ma'am. And then for that's how I put it, ma'am. Okay, so now
Okay, that's good. And in the 31,800 year, you took the 35%.
yes, but now, ma'am, before we move there to Aziza, sorry, ma'am. Before we move there, I think I had this is the same question I'm gonna go back to. They're telling us there, nah, at number 7, bullet number 7. That the raw material on hand at the end of each month is estimated to be equal to 35% of the following month's production needs for raw material. So they're telling us that 35%. So that's how that lady, that sister got that 42,000. She took 35% there. That's how she took 53,000. Okay.
Yes, so 53 times your, and then your 31 times.
Yes, yes.
Your 35%.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Right. So our total requirements is you're gonna add it 6550 and 64,130. Right. Now give me your opening inventory.
Okay. Just give me a second quickly.
Our opening inventory for September it's 5,000. It's given on adjustment 7.
Yeah, it's even.
Thank you. Okay, and then for October, our opening inventory.
$18,550.
Yes. It's this month's September's closing inventory become that.
Yes.
That month. Okay. Right, so we deducted. And then we get an amount of how much material is required. Right? So I require 55,550 and 45,580. Now we get to our price. Here's the story with the price. And our price was 16 Rand a kilo. No? 16 Rand a kilo, right? So now we multiply it and then you get an amount of 888,800. And then 729,280 bucks. And that's it. Ach, Jenny, Bob's your uncle. Where is your auntie?
Also, that 16 rand was it worked out much better at the bottom because they didn't say that the price is increasing, or so that 60 rand was straightforward. There was no increase and nothing like that.
You must watch out. There could be a decrease also, no?
There
So
could be a
just they might say. Say they said here that in October we had a decrease of 75%. What would the amount then be? What will this total value have been if we had a decrease of 75%? Anybody for the answer? You may shout out.
Excuse me, Aziza, are you just looking for the price per unit for that month or the cost for the direct material?
No, I'm looking for the total cost. The total cost, yes.
Okay.
What did you get?
No, I didn't get anything yet. I just know that I'm thinking the price per unit will then be, shouldn't that be 4 rand if the price decreases by 4 rand, by 75%?
Okay, give me the answer.
I don't have an answer yet. I didn't work out anything yet because I have to go back to the beginning of December to get to that part, and so yeah, I'll do that
Why
now.
do you want to go back to the beginning of December? I don't
I'll
understand.
have to go back to December to get the planned closing inventory for November.
No, you don't have to. You said it's 4 rand. So, nee, Robin, waar's jy? Jy's
I'm
mekaar
lost.
nou.
I have people here
that
now.
is-
That's why it threw me off.
That's 4 rand, like you said. So 45,000 times 4 rand is my total cost is 182,000. Nou, ek weet nie waar toe wil jy in January, December gaan. Jy wil seker beach toe gaan.
No, I thought you were looking for November's total, man. Sorry, because I see the question mark next the next cell. Okay.
Oh no, sorry, man. Sorry. Anyway, did everybody get 182, 240?
And they show how they got it.
You're not sure. Oh, she 16 Rand times 0.75 or 0.25, right? So then it's 4 Rand. Right? Then you say 4 Rand times my 45,580. And then you get 182. So let's just test you quickly further. So yeah, what is this, August? So in August, the material was 16 Rand and it was set to increase by 14% per month. Oh, yeah, 14% per month. So I want you to give me these totals here now. These totals here. Okay.
Or must increase by 14%.
Yes. Please,
16 times 14. Is it going to be the percentage? Is it going to be 18,24%?
And then?
And then you times it by the 55500, and then you should get 10 times 55500, 1012320.
I'm going to trust you on that. And the next one?
Is it going to be that? Oh.
It's 1013232.
Mm, 1013232.
Yes.
Okay. I'll try you too. It's probably the rounding off. Again, in the next one. The next month.
The next month is 831379.
And what was your answer here?
My percentage. Also 18.24. Because it's
Do not
16%.
lie, Robin. Guys van visit. Guys van visit is afsien. You must have boundaries. Look here, do not disturb on your door.
I tried.
No, it's not.
But is it not also 16% that increased by 14? 16 Rand that increased by 14% for that month?
Yes, but it increased by 14% per month.
Oh, by 14% per month. Okay, okay.
Yes. So you're gonna get something like 20 Rand 79. That's what I got. It's just times it by 45, 580, 947, 772, something like that.
Yes.
Easy. Okay, so let's just do our labor budget quickly. Okay, let's go back to our study guide, the blue one. So now we're going to do our labor budget. So we go back to these figures here because it's still based on how many units manufactured. Obviously, it makes sense because we want to calculate how much labor is going to be required, and it's obviously per unit. So now we have to go back to the question and read the question again because that was very complicated. So they said to us, now you must like sort of highlight in the book. Let's look here. It takes one worker an average of 15 minutes to prepare one casting mold and to pour the slip onto it. One set, it takes one worker another 15 minutes to release the product. Once released from the product, it's left to dry. Once it's dry, the product is put through the finishing process to smooth away this mold line. It takes one worker 10 minutes to finish one unit. The products are then fired in a kiln. Why do you say this word? Something is silent there. The kids, you know how to say that word.
What word?
Anyway,
Which word?
that's K-I-L-N. How do you say this word?
The products are then
it's
fired in
silent
a
in. I'm a
kiln.
silent L.
It's a silent L, yes. In a
I'm gonna
kiln.
quickly. I'm gonna
It's
Google it.
called a kiln.
Anyway, you don't get to judge me. I think it's a silent L. To convert the clay into stoneware. Once the products have cooled down, artists apply the glazing and finishing touches to each unit. What is it? I can't hear. I can't hear what you said. Kill. Anyway, the line is dragging outside. I can't hear. Okay, once the products have cooled down, artists apply the glazing and finishing touches to each unit. It takes an artist 45 minutes per unit to complete the task. The units are then placed into that word for a second firing. After the
Sorry, I forgot my mic wasn't muted.
after the units. Okay. After the units have cooled down from the second firing, they are labeled, wrapped, and packed into individual boxes. This process takes one worker 20 minutes per unit to complete. The labor recovery rate is 150 rand. So what do we do with all that information? Okay, let's begin and dissect it. Where do we start? So it takes us 15 minutes to pour,
Yes.
15 minutes to release the mold, another 10 minutes to finish the mold, and packing is 20 minutes. So it's 60 minutes. Okay. The artist takes 45 minutes, right? And 45 minutes is 3/4 of an hour. So we have to convert it to 0.75. That's to begin with. Okay. So 3,500. Let's just see what is 3,500 times 0.75 is 2,625 hours, right? For this artist to do his job. Okay. The other workers take 60 minutes, which is 1 hour. So that's kind of like easy. Okay. So you're going to have 3,500 hours. Right? So the artists get paid 150 Rand. So here, the artist's money, salary or wages, will be 2,625 times 150 bucks. So the artist will get paid 393,750 bucks, while the workers or the laborers will get paid 80 bucks an hour. So 60 Rand, not 60 Rand, 3,500 hours, right, times 80 bucks, right? And that will give me 280,000 Rand, right? So for Q1, if we add these two together, we going to get an amount of 673 Rand, 673,750. At least I can say numbers, eh? I can read numbers. Okay, do you get? Hello?
Yes.
Everybody with me? 6. Okay, so let's do the next one. The next one is also 75. Remember to convert it, né? Because it's very difficult if you don't convert it. So let's assume on the author's salary that he took 20 minutes to do a job. How much will it then be here? Give me this amount here, please. Don't mind.
Which amount?
Yeah, this amount here in yellow that I've got here for the artist, based on the artist took 20 minutes to complete the job.
Is it 1683?
I think so. 1683, almost right.
No.
But you got like that word problem now. You've got the numeracy one now. Why are you saying no, Yukisa? What did you get?
You said 20 minutes to finish the job.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Take into consideration with all those editing times that we have, that 15 minutes, and 10 minutes and all that stuff.
No. Only the artist. I want you to only calculate the artist for me.
But we don't know how long.
20 minutes to.
You are saying 20 minutes to finish, to do what? For
Yes,
how long? Is it for 60 minutes, for 60 hours, 80 hours?
No, I don't have to give you that information. Yes,
Sorry,
Bilkis.
Is the calculation not 5050 times 20 divided by 60?
No, it's not.
Oh.
You were almost right the first time. It's not.
Okay.
Back to Yukisa. Yukisa?
150.
Okay.
No, you're wrong.
I'm here.
Yukisa, I don't have to give you any more information. Yukisa, I don't have to give you any more information. All I need to tell you is that it's 20 minutes to take. The artist takes the job in 20 minutes.
Sorry, Aziza, isn't it 1683?
It's like that word now. We people are just reading it wrong. You're almost right. Just do that calculation over again. Isn't it this? Isn't this the answer? 168316. 20 divided by 60 is 33.3.
Yeah.
Times the 5050 is 168316. The key is almost right, but she said 1683. So I was wondering what happened to the 6, and then Robin went to 16831.
But for me, that 1683 is my answer because I did the 33%. Oh, I didn't do 33%. I just took it 33. But that's what David did it in the previous one also.
20 divided
0.75 times 3,500. Because now you've got the very large number there, Aziza.
I get 33.33 times 505. I get 168.
20 divided by
Remember, this 168 here must be put here actually.
I get 0.33.
Me too, Bilkis.
No. 20 divided by 60 is how much?
20 divided by
0.33.
Yeah.
Times 5050. No, it's not right. Hold on.
It's
What is a
1,600.
third? What is a third? Hold on.
Third.
20 minutes is a third.
You can open
What is a third? 33.33.
0.33.
20 divided by 60.
Okay, 0.
Do you?
What now? How did I get my answer? 33, a third of an hour is 33.33, right?
Because we're not working with cents, as is
that
if I get that 0.33 into a percentage. Isn't that why I think maybe
This is okay, so let's say 0.33.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm wrong here. 20 divided by 60 is 0.33. So 0.33, which is 33, right? Times 5050. It is 1683. It is, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I had 33. I don't know how I got the 33.3 on my calculator. Apologies.
We didn't get that.
Sorry?
I said we never got that. We were lost. You guys were.
What did you get? What did you get?
I was lost there. I just said 60 divided by the 20. I got 3, and then I typed with that number there. Then I got 51550.
No, man.
That's why I say
20 minutes is 20 divided by 60. So
okay,
it is 0.33.
Yeah, that's 0.33, okay?
Times your 55050.
Okay, equals to.
And that's how you got it. And if you got your key say if it was 40 minutes, do 40 minutes on this one here.
On which one?
On the see where I'm highlighting it now.
Three 3833,33.
How are you guys getting those 3833,33? And fast. Come on, you can't do this before I go sleep, and you're gonna make me wanna not sleep and think now. I'm lost.
Okay, Russell multiplied by 150, eh? That 1683. That's for my brain is not functioning what is right here. 252450. That is the total amount of the artist. And this one is 3833 times 150 is 574. I think 950 I saw there. 574, 950. Let's just go back how we got this. Okay. Yukisa and whoever we said here is 40%. So we say 40 divided by 60. And I'm not go off or what? So here we're gonna no man. 40 divided by 60 will give us 0.66. 0.66 times 5750. Right? Equals 3830. 3833. 3833 times 150 Rand an hour is going to give me 574,950. If I say 10 minutes, do 10 minutes for me here quickly.
One,
1316 or 17.
Yeah, 1316, let's do that. And now you times it by 150, and you get an amount of 197,500. Okay.
So it
And
can,
if we were to use these, yes.
sorry to disturb you there. They can mention 12 minutes, 25 minutes. You must just know that it needs to be divided by 60.
Yes. Yes.
Because there's 60 minutes in an hour.
Yes.
Why didn't you mention that earlier on, my sister?
Who, me? I can't tell you everything at one go.
Oh, because now you are
Let me
making our
ask.
bread. Before we go sleep, you want to make our brains think. I'm thinking the whole time that where are you getting those zeros and comma threes and that stuff? And why are you dividing by 6 the whole time?
Okay, let's just change this thing now. Let's say that, let's just use a different unit of measure. This is going to be, for the people that's listening to the recording, this is now totally hypothetical. But let's just say that the product was needed, the same product needed it in meters, right? I just want to change the unit. So, no, never mind. I'll do that on another day. That's just too hypothetical. Okay. So now we've got our labor budget. Now let's do our labor budget quickly on the one in the question guide. Our direct labor budget. Let's go back here. Was it now here? Okay, let me just clean my board. Okay, so let's do the labor budget quickly. So let's just copy and paste. We said that we're going to sort of copy and paste how many units is to be manufactured. Okay, so we need that amount. Where did we do the labor now? Oh yeah. Okay. Please don't come back to me afterwards and say these numbers in the labor budget didn't work out. We changed it now. Okay, so give me the labor budget. What are we going to do here now?
Okay, but the labor project.
We're basically just going to.
Yeah, that 8,400.
Basically just going to take the hours per unit. This one is quite simple. So you take your labor hours, which is 25,200, right? And then your 10,600 times your labor hour, because one unit takes 3 hours, so 31,800, right? Then you times it by the rate of 20 Rand, and then you get 504,000. Bob's your uncle, and 31,800 times 20 is 636,000 rand. With me. As easy as eating pie. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to continue with the variable overhead budget, the closing inventory budget, and all the rest of the budget still.
Okay. Okay, Aziza,
So
thank
you
you.
kind of like get this, you can sleep. You can sleep nice tonight. Let me just take the recording off quickly. Stop the recording. Anything else from your side?
But you must.
Bilkis, are you fine?
I'm okay.